Welcome back to the course. As we know, much of the risk of food contamination comes from those involved in its preparation. In particular, food handlers can introduce hazards at any stage of the process. In this video, we will discuss each risk involved in food handling, what the law says, and how a supervisor can prevent it. So let's get started. Hazards from food handlers can be divided into several categories which we will cover in depth in this video. They are hands, the nose, mouth, and ears, cuts, boils, septic spots and skin infections, the hair, jewelry and perfume, smoking, employee sickness. Hands are the most common way of transferring food poisoning bacteria. The human body temperature of 37 degrees centigrade is perfect for bacterial growth. That's why regular hand washing is so important throughout the working day. Food business premises are legally obliged to have proper sinks, hot and cold water, soap and washing and drying facilities on site. Next comes the face. Many people's habits transfer dirt and bacteria. For example, picking the nose and scratching at nail polish all are often done absent-mindedly. Prevent this by keeping fingernails clean and short, not wearing nail varnish or false nails, and not biting nails. People with persistent coughs, sneezes or runny noses must be kept away from food. Saliva particles carry far from a cough or sneeze and contain viruses and bacteria. Coughs or sneezes should be directed into a sleeve or shoulder. Away from food, equipment, utensils, or work surfaces and other people. Supervisors must actively stop habitual behavior, including wiping the nose on a sleeve or the back of a hand, blowing across the surface of hot food, tasting food with a finger or unwashed spoon, blowing on cutlery or glass before polishing it, rubbing cutlery or crockery on clothes to clean dirt off, chewing gum, smoking. Supervisors should keep a watchful eye for infractions and instruct staff accordingly. Staff must smoke in designated areas or outside the premises by law. These should be indicated by appropriate signage. Staff must wash their hands after smoking. Tobacco smells can linger, and small saliva droplets can be transferred to the fingers. Staff must never smoke while serving food or cooking, even outdoors. As a supervisor, staff must inform you if they are suffering or recently suffered from foodborne illness or flu-like symptoms. Staff must not return to work until 48 hours after they last showed symptoms. Food handlers are obliged to report sick and refer themselves to a doctor if they share a house with someone suffering from food poisoning, have recently eaten food known to have caused food poisoning, are suffering from foodborne illness symptoms, have cuts, boils or sores, are suffering from the nose or ear discharges. Also, appropriate protective clothing must be worn everywhere on the premises. It should cover garments completely. Potential contaminants are often carried on everyday clothes. Visitors, including maintenance contractors and non-catering staff, must wear protective clothing in food preparation areas and follow the same personal hygiene rules as the staff. Finally, and we can't stress this enough, supervisors must enforce all safety legislation and procedures using a HACCP-based FSMS system and due diligence. This entails that staff are fully trained with adequate documentation and regularly updated. Staff training should incorporate food handling essentials, legal duties, best practice in food production, on-the-job instruction, regular revision sessions to keep it up to date. Food handlers should also be given training in HACCP principles. Each staff member should have training records maintained by their employer or supervisor, including the date and type of training taught. And we are done. In this module, we learned about the importance of food handlers' personal hygiene during food production and preparation. Have a good day, and see you soon.